Hello and welcome to Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. This is the demo version that is taking part of Steam Next Fest, and if you want to check it out, there is a link in the description. Now this is basically where you take command of Voyager as it ventures accidentally into the Delta Quadrant. I am a huge Star Trek fan. I really actually used to like Voyager a great deal. I've since changed my opinion on what favorite series of mine it is now, but it doesn't really matter. The fact is, I know a lot about Voyager. I really like it, actually. It's just not my favorite anymore. And so what we're going to do is we're going to choose completely new options, and we're going to guide Voyager through the Delta Quadrant, and we're going to see exactly what it's all about. You are the captain of the Federation starship USS Voyager. Manage your ship and crew, plot a course, and so on. And as you can see, they don't have voice acting right now, so you can just see the subtitles here. I'm going to read what she's talking about. A new ship, a new crew, a new mission. Today we embark on a mission to locate a Maquis vessel that has disappeared in the Badlands. Starfleet intelligence believes these terrorists have acquired dangerous new technology. My chief of security, Tuvok, is undercover aboard that ship. I haven't received communication from him in over a week. The Badlands are treacherous. I can only hope he's safe. And as we know, he of course is. In the meantime, I have a starship to prepare for launch and a crew to assemble. And this is obviously just after she has retrieved Tom Paris from the penal colony in New Zealand, of course. Speaking of which, our final two crew members have just arrived, Harry Kim and Tom Paris. It seems I have a few introductions to make. Now, obviously, bear in mind, this is a demo, and it is still, obviously, very much in development, right? So, obviously, no voice acting right now, as far as I can tell. I've played a little bit of it beforehand. I've played 10 minutes or so, and I'm actually really excited for the game. Funnily enough, people on the Steam forums, they're not so excited, which is a little bit unfortunate, to be honest, because obviously, let's face it, maybe they weren't expecting something like this, but this is a choice-based resource survival simulation kind of game, basically. And it's not supposed to be like a third-person shooter or action game or anything like that. It's supposed to be a little bit more strategic in that sense. So, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, gentlemen, welcome to Voyager. Ensign Kim, you're fresh from the Academy. Ready for your first deep space assignment? And obviously, as you know, if you've actually seen Voyager and the TV show, you're going to know all of these lines, basically. Pretty much every single thing is kind of verbatim from the show. It's not all the same, and things are going to change significantly as we go through the demo here, because we're actually going to have choices that have actual consequences, and you're going to see the choice consequence almost immediately from the first choice that we have. At least that's where I got to, and I stopped playing just after that to start recording, obviously. So as you can see here, Ensign Kim, I trust you've already met Tom Paris, our esteemed observer, a former Maquis pilot who will help us search the Badlands for the Maquis vessel. With all due respect, ma'am, observer is hardly a title befitting my talents. I'm the best damn pilot in this sector. Call me pilot extraordinaire, Ensign. The Maquis, wow, I've heard a lot of stories about them. Relax, I was with the Maquis only for a few weeks before I was captured and sent to a lovely little penal colony in New Zealand. Prison? Enough chatter, gentlemen. All hands, this is the captain. Report to your stations. Helm, take us into the Badlands. Maximum warp. And there it is, the classic, wonderful Badlands, where we're going to be assaulted by a Tetrion beam or something like that, isn't it? Something like that. Anyway, the Badlands, a treacherous region of space where violent plasma storms can cripple even the most advanced starships. Captain Janeway observes the swirling chaos from the view screen, a subtle smile playing on her lips. She's ready for the challenge. Well, she has no idea what kind of challenge is about to befall her. Scanners are picking up no other vessels in the system, Captain. It's your time to shine, Mr. Paris. Any idea where your former colleagues might be hiding? I wasn't exactly Marquis of the Year, Captain, but they did prefer underground bases, remote planets, and... Captain, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm reading a coherent Tetrion beam scanning us, and a displacement wave heading toward us. And of course, here it is. A colossal wave of turbulent energy surges towards Voyager, its power dwarfing anything the crew has ever seen. With no time to analyze the threat, emergency measures are initiated. Red alert, helm, evasive maneuvers. No effect. The wave will intercept us in 5 seconds. Brace for impact. I remember that I gotta say, I've actually seen the pilot episode of Voyager so many times. I remember every single one of these moments, and it's absolutely fantastic to actually have a potential impact on various things that happen during this. As the crew regains consciousness, they find their bridge in total devastation. Twisted metal, sparking consoles, and injured crewmates paint a grim picture. What just happened? Damage report. Major hull and deck damage. The transporters are offline, and we're receiving casualty reports. Bridge to sickbay. Doctor, I've got injured crew on the bridge. Doctor? Damn. Doctor, well, Captain, we're losing systems across multiple decks. The deuterium tanks are empty. Warp core's gone to grey mode. Yes, I actually don't think he even says that in the pilot. I don't think they even reference anything called grey mode, but I could be misremembering, but I don't think he says anything like that. So that must be sort of like a gameplay thing that we're being taught here right now. Anyway, we're on reserves, barely. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Scan for the nearest source of deuterium. External sensors are offline. Stellar cartography must be down. Voyager's blind, Captain. Stellar cartography, I don't think they even personally for me, I don't think they even mention stellar cartography one time. I think they literally just say external sensors are down or something like that, and that's literally it. I don't think they mention stellar cartography here, but yeah, anyway, we're going to get some tutorials, obviously, as you might expect. And so this is... Can I actually zoom out? Yeah, okay, I can actually zoom... This is really cool. So... Can I actually... Yes, I can use WSD. Okay, so this is fantastic. This really, really helps me to actually show off what is happening in the game right now. So, as you can see, there are literal... Basically, the entire ship is here in blueprint form. Or sideways form, I guess blueprint form, kind of. And basically what you can do is you can zoom in all the way if you want to. You can literally zoom in all the way. As you see here, there's an aero shuttle bay, there's a bunch of ruined rooms, there's the phaser control room, there's the science laboratory, holodeck, sick bay, engineering office, and so on, and so on, and so on. And there's a huge amount here. Main deflector, and even... the shuttle bay in the back there. Main engineering is over there as well. And this is all obviously, as you might expect, it should be at least lore accurate. I think it is probably lore accurate, but I wouldn't be able to tell you without having a refresh and looking at the plans myself. But I think this is very much lore accurate. So, you know, if you've ever wanted to have control over, you know, Voyager itself and, you know, deciding what happens and so on and so forth, then that's the way to go. And you can see here, look at this, we've got all kinds of different resources. So you see here, we have deuterium, we have dilithium, science points, bioneural gel packs, obviously, oh no, yes, don't worry, we're not going to get any cheese this time. Yeah, that's the funny thing. You could probably decide on that. You could probably decide on whether you want to get that cheese on board or not. That would be absolutely terrible, because the cheese the cheese obviously infects the gel packs. Oh, never mind. Anyway, Borg nanites, obviously, as you might expect. And then we have energy. The warp core is in gray mode right now. Then we have batteries, uranium, tritanium, and then, of course, food. And then you need... as you see here, crew. Of course, you need some crew to do everything. So we're going to switch this on. Captain, sensors are picking up something out there, but what Harry is trying to stammer is we're not in the Badlands anymore. I made Tom Paris stammer there. That's great, isn't it? That's wonderful, wonderful. So yes, as you can see, of course, Voyager is in front, or at the side, or, you know, somewhere in the vicinity of the Caretaker's array. What is that thing? Where are we? If our sensors are working, we just jumped over 70,000 light years, Captain, into the Delta Quadrant. The Delta Quadrant, how? Captain, life support systems are failing. This array will have to wait. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Find us a deuterium source. And so here we go. So basically this allows us to have a sort of like Mass Effect style galaxy map where you can then decide on where Voyager goes, which in my opinion, I actually really like this. I think this is fun. I don't know. Is it just me? I don't know. I think this is really, really fun. So what we're going to do, and I believe this is all randomized, by the way. This is all procedurally generated, so you're not actually sure you're going to have the same experience every single time, because when I played this before, this was not a binary star system, right? This was not a binary star system. This was a singular star in the center of the system here, and the Caretaker's array was on the east side rather than on the south side. and there were fewer planets, as far as I remember, maybe, not entirely sure. So yeah, the procedural generation is definitely going to make a massive, massive difference here. So we're otherwise going to scan. Now we can get deuterium. Okay, deuterium even. Okay, so we're traveling. Time passes in the form of cycles. Yes. So this is the point here. Okay, so basically, I'm not gonna read the tutorials and stuff like that because we're gonna see it in action in just a moment. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna scan here as well. So deuterium is also available here. So we might as well go to the interstellar cloud. Let's go to the interstellar cloud. You can see here that if we upgraded stellar cartography, we'd be able to collect more data on the interstellar cloud if we wanted to do that. But we're gonna set a course, and Voyager, as you can see, is actually going to move there. It is actually going to move there. So sensors detect a dense cloud of interstellar gas with an unusually high concentration of deuterium. And we can actually, as you can see here, choose two different options. And each one, from your mouse over, tells you the success rate that you're going to have doing this. So we can, so orange, as you can see here, that means that you're going to probably get a bad or kind of not so good result, and it's random whether that's going to happen, as far as I can tell. It's a percentage chance. So we have a basically 40% chance that using the Bussard collectors is going to not do a particularly good job. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to deploy collector probes for a safer though less efficient collection. So we can potentially get some pretty cool stuff going on here. And as you can see, look at that. We had a good mission outcome. Technically, if we had gotten yellow, I believe that would have been a critical success. So it would have been very, very nice for us to do that, but we did get 449 out of a maximum 600, I think it was, or something like that. But yeah, there we go. Now Harry is obviously telling us that we can deactivate gray mode, and this takes us to main engineering here. Ready to increase warp core output. And so we actually get the opportunity to go in here, and as you can see, we can now select tier 1, which is going to allow us to increase the energy. Boom, done. Our energy levels are returning to normal, and look at the animation. The animation of the warp core is back online. I remember that was such an iconic moment for the warp core to come back online when I think it was it B'Elanna that actually did that? I actually don't remember. I don't remember that well about it. Anyway, now what about this thing, this array? I can't tell, Captain, but our scanners detected a Maquis vessel next to it. So we can scan for life signs, or we can try hailing them. I'm going to scan for life signs straight away, because I know that there are no life signs on the Maquis vessel. Because I know that, obviously, because I just played this, and also I remember that they are not there. Anyway, scan the ship for life signs, Ensign. There's no one on board, Captain. So we're going to scan the array. We have a 40 plus 35% chance. What about the array? Oh, we succeeded! Several life forms on board, Captain. Is one of them Vulcan? I'm not sure, Captain. The signals are weak. We'll just have to see for ourselves. I want the transporter room repaired and ready. And so we obviously now have to do that. Mr. Paris, get us to a duranium deposit. We'll need it to repair the transporter room. Alright, so a duranium deposit. So we now need to scan a couple of extra things. Duranium is over there, so we should probably go over in there. Oh, there is a Talaxian ship, no less. Oh, now that's very intriguing, isn't it? Aha. A Talaxian Baxial freighter. I actually wonder if... Is Neelix actually there? Is Neelix actually in this system? That would be quite funny. I highly doubt they're going to give us an interaction with Neelix this soon, right? Surely not. Okay, well, let's set a course for this first of all, because we do need the duranium first. And as you can see, we are actually using deuterium every single time we move. We have a maximum capacity of 1,000 at the moment. So, yeah, here we go. Safely search for anything, or if we had an engineering office currently active, then we would be able to repair parts of the mining station to mine some resources, but we obviously don't have that right now. So we're going to safely search for anything right here. There we go. We had 65%. We got 34. We now have all the duranium we need. Okay. Engineering is standing by to repair the transporter, Captain. And here we go. So we're now going to repair it, and it's going to take a little bit of time to repair. Normally, it would take a couple of cycles, potentially. Cycles are basically time passing when you move around in the game. So when Voyager is traveling around and stuff like that, cycles are going to pass, and it's then going to, you know, repair whatever room you've set up. Mr. Paris, set course for the array. It's time we got some answers. Alright, so I'm actually going to interact with this Talaxian thing because I'd like to see if it is actually Neelix. I highly doubt it. I think it's probably random. Ah, it's abandoned! We found an abandoned ship adrift in space. It's powered down, but structurally sound, structurally even, with sealed storage compartments. Okay, leave the storage alone and focus on salvaging from other parts of the ship. We can destroy the vessel and salvage the debris, but we need a torpedo launch bay. We don't currently have that at the moment. That's currently damaged, of course. So let's try to get that. Yes! Oh, we got an average. Okay, so yellow is actually average. Apparently, I got that wrong because there is another section. I think it's light yellow. I think it's light yellow or something like that that indicates critical success, but that's absolutely fine. We're getting that reasonably nice anyway. So let's set a course back to the Caretaker's array here. And let's see what happens. And this is actually going to lead us into our first real choice. This is like the choice that actually does provide you with immediate consequences, which I personally think is really cool. I'm kind of a bit weirded out by, by the people that are not really that excited about it. I mean, here's the thing. For me personally, I don't know whether you really need to have the voices of the original actors doing the lines. I think it would be cool to have them do that, obviously, if they wanted to, because I think it's fun. I think it's fun to have them, but I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's really needed in a game like this. But maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe it would be nice. I don't know. It depends. It depends, obviously. Anyway, away missions present a nice series of challenges. So yeah, so basically you have away teams and they all have skills. Now this is also going to come into it, right? So we have Harry Kim and we have Tom Paris, and they're going to be going over onto the array. Now this is kind of a bit weird because as far as I remember, I believe Janeway also goes on the away mission. So this is a little bit different from the show in that sense. I think they all go over onto the array. And I think that she directly interacts with the Caretaker over there, just like they all do, basically. Whereas in this case, we're taking, Kim and Paris over there, and that's, well, I guess we're going to see what happens. But, I find that quite interesting. Decide on an approach and select the hero to complete the challenge with the appropriate skill. If the skill is lower than the requirement, the success chance is displayed. Captain, we seem to have materialized in the middle of a cornfield. This place, it's eerily similar to Earth, but something's off. Any suggestions on what to do next? And so here we go. We can now decide. Do we want to do the scan for any life signs, or do we want to look for any footprints or special noises? Well, we can decide what we want to do. So I guess we'll do, well, this is, wait a minute, let me see here. Yeah, so as you can see, we can decide between these two. I think what I'll do is I'll decide on this, because this has a slightly higher success chance. So let's do that. Ooh, okay, that was a little bit close. Harry and Tom use their tricorders to scan for life signs and detect a strange energy spike emanating from a nearby area. Following the readings, they navigate through the corn and find a farm with people working the fields. An old man sits on the porch of a nearby farmhouse, strumming a banjo. After a challenge, the participating team members are fatigued and their skill values are reduced. Let them rest for the next challenge to recover and plan ahead accordingly. Now, unfortunately for me, I'm going to be providing feedback over the course of this video, just because who knows, maybe the development team will see this, or maybe they won't. Who knows? It doesn't really matter to me, but it would be nice if they would listen to feedback from the community, because obviously, let's face it, we want the game to be as good and as fun as possible, right? So generally we want to, yeah, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so fatigue. I'm not sure entirely how you can plan ahead when you don't know what the next choice is going to be like, but I guess if you see here, these are the challenges, right? So these icons are going to give you an idea of what they're actually going to be, what they're going to end up being. So for example, we have I guess, is this leadership? Well, obviously Tom is the best at that, right? But we also have engineering here and science, which is obviously Harry. And then we have leadership and engineering there. So it very much depends, but we obviously don't know what the values are going to be on these challenges. So we don't know who's going to be the best suited for it, which I have to admit, I think is a little bit... Not sure if I really agree on that, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to let Harry rest for this one, and we're going to try to read his body language for any clues. It's going to provide us with this, which is science, or what is that? Research points or something like that? Demand to know what is going on. That is going to provide us with more research, but it is a much, much harsher test. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to try to make sure that... Ooh, we almost failed it. Okay, that was close. Harry and Tom discreetly observe the old man trying to analyze his body language. Something feels off, like he's putting on an act, but they can't quite put their finger on why. The old man seems perplexed by their presence, muttering about Harry and Tom being early and how it is not their time yet. He invites them to stay on the farm and wait, offering them some fresh corn on the cob. Alright, so you can select more than one hero for a challenge if they possess the required skill. If the accumulated skill value is equal or higher than the required number, you have a chance for a critical success. See, now this is what I was talking about, you see? So the golden part, oh, okay, so it's golden, not yellow, my bad. Okay, I didn't fully understand that at the time when I played this before. Anyway, the old man isn't much help. We'll try to find the marquee ourselves. There's a large barn behind the farmhouse. The tricorder readings are off the charts. There's definitely something strange about it, especially that back wall. Okay, so now what we can do is we can try to do this. And we can try to find a way to break the illusion of the wall, and we're going to be getting a pretty hefty amount of deuterium from this. So, let's do it. Let's try and see if we can get critical success. We didn't get critical success, unfortunately, but that's okay. Harry and Tom try to disrupt the energy field, causing a flicker in the air. But before they can break the illusion, the people from the field burst in, wielding farm tools as weapons. The old man appears and reveals the barn is an illusion, the back wall dissolving to show a bluish glowing room where unconscious people, including a tattooed man and a half-Klingon woman, lie on surgical tables. And so here it is. Sometimes you have to make major decisions that have a large influence on how the story proceeds. These decisions are marked with a golden outline. So here we go. These people must be the missing marquee. They're being held here, Captain. We must get them out of here. Okay, so we can now decide what we want to do. Do we want to wake the tattooed man? Or do we want to wake up the half-Klingon woman? Well, as far as I am aware, according to my memory, I believe that Chakotay is the one that returns to Voyager, right? Now, I know for a fact, because I've already done this particular choice, but I know for a fact that if you choose B'Elanna, the half-Klingon woman, to wake up, she will be the one to return to Voyager instead of Chakotay, and he will be the one left on the array or transferred to Ocampa, which obviously is the nearby planet that we're probably going to be visiting sometime soon. So I'm going to go and wake up the half-Klingon woman. Let's hope for critical success. Yes, critical success. Sprints towards the half-Klingon woman, hoping to rouse her. As he reaches out, the old man stops him, a look of concern on his face. Before Harry can react, a blinding white light fills the room and everything goes blank. And there you go. And so we get a bunch of experience. Our people are going to level up. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to provide them. I'm going to assume it's going to give them skill bonuses. It's going to allow them to increase their stats in some way or another and to become better at performing challenges. And so here you go. A sudden return. Captain Janeway anxiously awaits the return of her away team when Harry Kim unexpectedly materializes behind her. What happened on the array? See, now I can't remember this because I think... I'm actually wondering, did she actually go the first time, or did she actually only go the second time? I cannot remember what actually happened there, so that's my bad. But let's have a look and see what happens. Whoa, I'm back on Voyager? What happened over there, Mr. Kim? We lost contact with you for several hours. I don't think that's the case. Several hours? There's no way that Janeway would wait several hours, in my opinion, but there you go. Hours? But we were just there. Right? Tom? Yeah, and Tom isn't there, obviously. Seems like he's still on the array. I hope you have a hidden piloting talent because we're short. Captain, we're being hailed by the Marquis. Starfleet, I don't know what you did to our commander, but I can still ram this wreck into your precious starship. Ramus, one of our own, is also missing. It would make sense to postpone the ramming until we're all accounted for. Does that sound reasonable? We're beaming over. Alright, so despite Janeway's invitation, the arrival of the Marquis crew is fraught with tension. Both sides remain wary as they prepare to discuss their shared predicament. Don't play games, Starfleet. We're armed and ready to defend ourselves. I wouldn't have it any other way. Glad to have you back, Tuvok. Likewise, Captain. Miss Torres, I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate the Marquis. I never liked you, Vulcan. That is unsurprising. I assure you I performed my Marquis duties to the highest standards. Patah. You win some, you lose some. Let's focus on bringing Mr. Paris and your commander back. His name is Chakotay, or, as B'Elanna likes to say in the first couple of seasons, Chakotay. She likes to say Chakotay in the first few seasons, and then it changes a little bit later. But anyway, and we can't get back in that easy. They're sealed, and their communications are cut off. Lieutenant Tuvok, get down to engineering and find a way to bypass whatever's jamming our communications. Report back as soon as you have a solution. All right. So, we are now, yes, we're going to do some more repairing. Repair protocols are imperative. We require resources in the engineering office to mobilize additional workforces, prioritize life support, secure core decks, and restore Deck 5 functionality first to gain access to the engineering office. So, as you can see, every single deck has life support. Look at this. Every single deck has life support, and then you're going to obviously have additional rooms that have different functionalities as time goes on, I assume. So we're going to switch this on. 18 energy. Life support restored on Deck 5, Captain. Engineering office is now accessible. And of course it's a mess. We'll have to fix it before we can even use it. And so here we go. The engineering office will be... We can dismantle it if we want to, but we can also repair it. And we are definitely going to be repairing it. And it's going to take, as you can see, 2 cycles to repair, which means that we're going to have to move around a little bit, right? So, as you see, until completion, it would be logical to scan all planets in the system and gather more deuterium and duranium. And so there you go. That's a nice little hint from Mr. Tuvok there, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to go over here. We're going to set a course. Deuterium is available here. And we're going to leave the storage alone and focus on salvaging other parts of the ship because I don't have access to the other options. And there we go. Oh no! Oh, yeah, we lost a little bit due to full storage, but that's actually okay. We don't really need to worry about that too much. We need more duranium technically, so let's actually scan for that. Scan a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, there's quite a bit of duranium in the system, but yeah, a little bit unfortunate that there's not that much. Maybe it's gonna be enough. All right, so we repaired it, as you can see right there, and we can enter the ship, or we can do other things. I'm gonna just literally do other things right now. Oh, okay, never mind. Apparently they just forced me into that, but that's okay. We now have an additional work team to carry out 2 tasks simultaneously. Yes, okay, so there we go. Even clearing rubble occupies work teams. To be able to carry out several tasks at the same time, obtain additional teams by building or upgrading engineering offices. Logically, we should now focus on Deck 2 and the mess hall to ensure the crew's food supply, maintaining their physical endurance. This requires reactivating life support in that section first. So there we go. Now we have another system that is coming into play, the morale bar. And so that shows our current status. There's change to morale per cycle and icons indicating your crew's needs. Open the overview screen by pressing tab and switch to morale to get detailed info about the needs. Your decisions in ship management and events affect crew morale. If morale falls to 0, the crew mutinies and the game is over. As we've seen from Seska's holodeck simulation, it's not necessarily meaning that the game is over. I'm obviously just joking there. Okay, so let's do this. Life support restored on Deck 2, Captain. Access to the mess hall is now possible. And there it is. However, it has sustained extensive damage. Emergency rations are currently deployed. After repair, the crew can access replicator rations again. Okay, so let's repair it. It's going to take 3 cycles. Until completion, we should address crew accommodation. Ruined rooms must be cleared to create room for residential sections. The ship is heavily damaged, and many parts are destroyed beyond repair. To free up new things, Yes, exactly. So we're going to clear the debris here. While waiting for our work teams to finish, we should continue to collect more resources. Yes, that's exactly what we are planning on doing, Mr. Tuvok. Okay, so we can now decide on either one of these things. Personally, for me, well, there's not really that much point in using the tractor beam here. It's a basically like a 50-50 shot whether you're going to actually get a good result. And I personally think that getting a good average result is probably fine. I don't really mind that too much. Let's set a course for the duranium over here. The mess hall is now done. There we go. Mess hall repairs are completed, Captain. We should switch to replicator rations now. It would enhance crew well-being. Okay, so with every cycle, your crew consumes rations. You can always use emergency rations, which don't require resources but lower morale. The crew is used to consume premium rations made by the replicator. Those increase morale but consume deuterium. I actually personally don't mind that at all. We're going to be going for premium replicator rations. There we go. And our morale, as you can see right here, is here. So you can see that we are currently having minus 40 per cycle because people are quarterless at the moment. They don't have enough rooms, obviously. They don't have enough rooms, so they can't really do anything. They can't sleep and do all that stuff. So yeah, that's probably going to be a bit of an issue, isn't it? One cycle is still going to be having a problem there. So how do I get out of this screen, actually? Ah, the system. Oh, okay, so it's 1 and 2. All right, well, that's easy enough, isn't it? Okay, so now, oh, hello. Okay, abandoned mining station's not looking particularly good right here. Yeah, we're just going to do this one. Please not yellow, please not yellow. Okay, there we go. Yes, that's actually fine. Let's go over here to a Talaxian freighter, probably abandoned. The ruined room is now done, and now we can create... Yes, maybe we should rebuild some crew quarters now. It'll do wonders for morale, Captain. Yes, to build a new room, select this, and then do that. There we go. Yes, so that's what we're going to do. So we can do maintenance, crew quarters, technology, combat, or Borg technology. Whoa, okay. We don't have any Borg technology right now. So we're going to do crew quarters. Emergency quarters accommodate 10 crew in crammed, limited quality quarters. Obviously, as time goes on, you're going to get better technology that will allow you to have better quarters, as you might expect. So that's definitely going to make a big difference. Sick bay is definitely going to be very, very handy here. So you can see that I can place it anywhere I like if, you know, if we had all the other ruined rooms cleared. But obviously this one is the only one that is currently done. So your crew is the lifeblood of your ship. Each room requires personnel to operate, so keep this in mind when adding new rooms or upgrades. Don't forget to provide the necessary accommodation, or morale may drop faster than you'd like. Alright, so that's going to take 4. It's going to take 4 cycles, and we're also getting a call right now from the caretaker. We're getting hailed by the caretaker. Captain, the array's jamming signal has been neutralized. We should be able to establish communication. Let's hope they respond. Hail the array. Who's this? Why are you bothering me? Oh, it's you. Why are you back? You don't have what I need. I remember that voice, Captain. It's the old man with the banjo, but his form is entirely different compared to how he appeared on the array. I'm Captain Janeway. Ah, I see. Okay, so basically, they kind of skipped ahead a little bit of the storyline right here, because usually, as far as I remember, they were all on the array, and they were all gone for many hours, and they had to ask either the EMH or the computer how long it had actually been, because not one of them was left on the ship, as far as I remember, at least. Okay, anyway. We mean you no harm, we just want our people back. Your people? Your people are no longer here. They might have what I need. You'll just have to leave them. Yes, indeed. Okay, so this is where we get the opportunity to appeal to his humanity, tell us where they are, try to intimidate him, give them back. We can let Torres talk, which would give us 60% chance, or we can scan the array for Tom and Chakotay. We know that they're not there. 100%. We know that they're not there. What's actually really funny, by the way, what's really funny about this is, I actually forgot about this. It wasn't Tom. It wasn't Tom Paris on Ocampa. It was actually Harry Kim and B'Elanna. So now it's Tom and Chakotay rather than B'Elanna and Harry, which is actually hilarious. Okay, so I actually really like that. See, that's what I was talking about when I was, mentioning about the choices having a pretty big impact. I really like that. Anyway, so we're going to appeal to his humanity. We are entrusted with their safety. Their families and friends rely on us to bring them home. They are our responsibility. And indeed, I think that's exactly what she says, actually. I understand, but I had no choice. There just isn't enough time. Time for what? I must honor a debt that can never be repaid. Find something that cannot be found. Well, okay. I know she, for a fact, offers her help in the show, so I'm going to ask what kind of debt. What kind of debt? Maybe we can help. Oh, she does anyway. Weren't you listening? It can't be repaid. All I can do is protect them. No, you're stealing my time. Don't you understand? I don't have time. Not enough time. We've been cut off, Captain. Damn it. We haven't gotten any closer to Paris and Chakotay. You managed to get something. You Starfleet don't know how to fight, but you sure talk good. I don't think she'd ever say that, surely. No. Captain, if I may, I have observed that the array has been sending energy pulses towards the 5th planet of the neighboring system ever since our arrival. Given the lack of information regarding our missing crew's location, investigating this planet appears to be the most logical next step. It's the only lead we have. Thoughts, Miss Torres? I don't like this any more than you do, but it'll be easier if we work together. Captain? Helm, set course for the 5th planet of the neighboring system. Let's find our people. And B'Elanna, as far as I'm aware, I don't think she actually accepts Janeway as captain for quite some time. Maybe that's just me. But maybe, as I say, maybe they're being a little bit quicker because that's just, you know, a little bit better pacing potentially for the game's sake. Anyway, set a course for the 5th planet in the neighboring system, maximum warp. Alright, so now we get access to the sector map. So the sector map shows the entire sector with several star systems. So you can either travel directly to another system, or you can scan the system first and select a specific place of interest to visit, or point of interest. I'm going to be going here first because I want to get the duranium before we leave. Thank you very much. There we go. And the sector is... I mean, technically I could get more. Could I? No. Actually, no, I couldn't. Okay, that's fine. Let's go. Okay, so we're currently here. No, actually, this is where we need to go, and this is another system over here. We need to deal with the array first. Oh, that's so funny. I love the fact that they say we need to deal with the array first. Yes, we need to go after our people. Yes, that would be hilarious. Okay, so let's set a course, and look, it actually changes. It actually changes the nacelles, and boom, we're out of there. Okay. Yeah, now we're actually in the next system. This is where we need to go, and that is Ocampa, as you can see very, very clearly. All right, well, let's actually scan a couple of these things right now. That's a spatial anomaly. It is not dangerous, but could provide valuable scientific data. We don't currently have access to anything that can produce scientific data. We're going to need, you know, a little science lab or something like that to be able to do that. Let's set a course for Ocampa and actually see what's happening. I'm assuming that we're going to meet Neelix now, right? Captain, we've reached our destination. Orders? Continue. Okay, let's see what happens. I don't know, maybe I should have, probably should have cleared some more rooms, shouldn't I? That probably would have made more sense. Oh dear. I'm being overzealous because I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see Neelix and see what's going on with the wonderful, wonderful, absolutely amazing enemies that are the K-Zone. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Following the caretaker's energy pulses, Voyager discovers a desert planet with a harsh, unforgiving landscape. Are Tom Paris and Captain Chakotay perhaps being held in this place? What makes this place so special? Do a general scan of the planet or check the energy pulses? Let's actually do a general scan of the planet. Let's see what we can learn about this planet. It has all the basic characteristics of an M-class planet, but no ocean, no river, nothing. However, there are settlements. Okay, leave it at that. Strange but intriguing. And let's check the energy pulses. Yeah, they're going to be increasing. The speed of the energy pulses is going to be increasing, the frequency of them. They are consistently targeting a single location, a barren piece of the desert. I recommend an away team investigates the area. There is something else. The interval between each pulse has decreased by 0.47 seconds since we left the array. They're getting faster. The entity said he's running out of time, right? Whatever that means, we'd better hurry. Okay, so let's prepare an away team. We'll examine this world firsthand. So we're going to have B'Elanna, Tuvok, and Tom on the away team. Oh, here we go. Hello there. There is Neelix. There is Neelix. Okay, very fun to see him. All right. Captain, a small ship is approaching. They're hailing us on screen. All right, a peculiar alien with a mischievous grin greets Voyager from his chaotic vessel. Neither Starfleet nor the Marquis have ever seen such a species before. Perhaps an inhabitant of the Delta Quadrant? Greetings! Looking for something on this dusty old rock? Would we find anything, Mr. Neelix? Never seen a ship like yours. Let me guess, you're whisked away from somewhere else in the galaxy and brought here against your will. Sounds as though you've heard this story before. Thousands of times, well, hundreds of times, maybe 50 times, but the caretaker has been bringing ships here for months now. The caretaker? That's what the Ocampa call him. He probably snatched some of your crew too, right? They're likely down on the planet with the Ocampa. But Captain, it's a tricky place. Dangerous. You could use a guide, but, of course, a guide needs a little, you know, compensation. Sounds fair. Wonderful. To be honest, I've had it rough recently. Those pesky void voles have been nibbling away at my supplies. Some food and water would be most welcome. If you help us find our missing crew, you can have all the food and water you want. It's a deal. And there we go. So we now have Neelix, and he's been recruited. Fantastic. Look at that. Okay, so we can now technically skip cycles, as you can see down here. So we can skip cycles if we want to do that. So if we just want to stay in place and we don't want to actually move, then we can do that too. Let's go into our ship and actually see what we can do here. So let's get our shield repaired, shall we? Let's get the science lab up and running, actually. Let's do that. There we go. Tuvok's going to be very pleased with... Well, technically Tuvok is the security guy, so technically he doesn't really care about that. If we had 7 of 9 right now, should be wanting that up and running, and obviously, you know, the place where she likes. But yeah, otherwise, sickbay, probably useful, right? Yep, let's do sickbay. And we basically have... Oh, we have a lot of duranium right now. Okay, we have a lot of duranium. So I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to get some more ruined rooms cleared. Oh, not enough work teams. Hire more in the engineering office. Oh, that's sad. Okay, wait a minute. Where is the engineering office? I actually have no idea where any of that stuff is. So that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Where is it? Engineering room, transporter room. There's the engineering office. Okay, fantastic. So let's add a work team. Can I do that? This is assigned to sickbay. Can I add a work team? No, I can't do that. Can I upgrade it? Yeah, no. I need something. What is this? What is this icon right here? What is that? Tritanium. Aha. Okay, so I need tritanium to be able to do that. Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, sickbay is a pretty important thing for us to get, so I think that's probably going to be fine. I keep pausing because I keep pressing escape. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look. So that's deuterium. We don't need that. Well, technically, we kind of need that, I guess, to a certain degree. But let's actually just scan a couple of extra things here, just in case. Okay, so we got some duranium there. And what do we need to do now? Rebuild and explore the system or skip cycles until Neelix is ready to talk. Oh, okay, yeah, he's got to have his bath. Yes, he has to have his bath and do some wonderful singing, and Tuvok's going to be very pleased with that. Okay, so we can, let's see. More duranium. I think we should probably try to get as much duranium as possible. I think that's probably the best course of action. So I think we'll do that. There we go. The science laboratory is back up and running. And the sickbay is also done. Wow, that was really, really fast. Injured and sick crew will be placed in sickbay automatically. After treatment, they'll go back to work. Increase the efficiency of the sickbay by assigning a suitable hero. Okay, so what do you mean a suitable hero? Okay. Let's just get this real fast. There we go. Nice. We got a good amount. And we're going to have a call by the caretaker. Oh, no. Oh, dear. What a delicious meal. A culinary masterpiece. Masterpiece, even. I've never encountered such a tangy but comforting, smooth yet vibrant concoction. What was it called again? Tomato soup. Tomato soup! I'm something of a culinary wizard myself, you know. My Alfarian hair pasta bowl is widely known for its bold, mouth-watering taste. Mr. Neelix, I am pleased you are enjoying yourself, but we need your assistance. Now. Ah, yes, your missing crew, right. Scan the southern continent and look for a range of dead volcanoes. At their foot, you'll find a Kazon Ogler encampment. Kazon what? One Kazon sect of many. They control this part of the quadrant. They're a bit difficult, but with the right approach, even they can be reasoned with. I thought you said the Okampa had our people. Well, the Okampa do have your people. It's just finding them is a bit tricky. My old pal even, Marj Jabin, the Ogler leader, might know where to look. He's a nice guy. A bit gruff, but he owes me a favor. Okay, let's ask for more information about the Kazon Ogler. Anything else we should know about these Kazon Ogler? Water's a precious commodity around these parts. The Ogler, they mostly get theirs through trade, so a little liquid diplomacy would go a long way. Okay, so let's send the away team down. Very well, prepare an away team, and you'll accompany them, Mr. Neelix. Yes. Okay, well, he wanted to because of certain reasons, didn't he? Yes, of course. And, okay, so we can now fly back to Okampa if we want to do that. I assume, is there a timer? Is there a timer on that? I actually don't know. Let's go to the ship. I want to do this. Can I not do that? We can't send crew... Ah, life support is disabled for this deck. Oh yeah, I need to actually repair this, don't I? Okay, that actually makes sense. Life support is okay here. Shield generator, shield... Okay, shield generator. We should probably repair that, shouldn't we? Let's repair the shield generator while we can. Do we have someone that can do this? Yes, we do. There we go. So we can now get that up and running, because we already have life support on this deck due to the mess hall. So this is going to make a big, big difference for us. Let's actually see what's going on with the... with main engineering, because I want to see if I can actually upgrade this a little bit. No, we don't have titanium. We need that to be able to upgrade it. Okay, that's absolutely fine. And what about this? I can't do anything more here just yet. Not sure why we can't get tier 2, tier 3, etc. I assume we... Aha! We can assign a hero here, like for example, we can assign Balana, who has an incredible amount of engineering skill, and then she'll be doing very, very well there. And that would obviously help us out a great deal. So sickbay is also the same thing. We can switch off heroes. Apparently, no one can actually be assigned. No one can actually be assigned here for some reason. But yeah, there you go. All right, let's go back. Should we? Should we actually go back there? I'm a little bit worried about that, actually. You know what? Let's go and get some deuterium first, because I feel like we're going to need it. There we go. Shield generator's done. Collect easily accessible resources, or we can do this one. No, I think we'll just get the easily accessible resources, and we're already at 827 again, so that's absolutely fantastic. Let's go back to Ocampa and actually see what's happening. So there we go. We actually dismantled that ruined room, which is very nice. And let's actually see what we can build here. I probably want to build a crew quarters once again. I don't think I can do this yet. Our current technology is insufficient, which is somewhat sad. But that's okay. We can just build that roundabout there. It's going to take 4 cycles. That's okay. Can we do anything more? Yes, we can. Okay, we can do that. That's also 4 cycles. Fantastic. Captain, we've reached our destination. Orders? Send away team. All right, let's go in and see what we can do. So Neelix, obviously, as you can see, is very much basically default. We need him. And we're going to be taking, I think, well, it's probably, wait a minute. We've got both of them are botanists. Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. We should probably take Balana. She's going to be great on engineering. And we should probably take Tuvok, because he is actually a person with fighting abilities. And you can see here the challenges on the left side. Okay, recommended traits are Talaxian, Survivalist, Innovator. Okay, do we have a Survivalist? We do not. Who's the Survivalist? Who's supposed to be the Survivalist? I don't know. I guess Chakotay. I guess Chakotay would be the Survivalist if we had him, but we don't. Anyway, the away team materializes in a small valley between the dead volcanoes. The sun burns down on them mercilessly. The air is hot and dry, and a sandy wind whips into their eyes. Captain, our tricorders are malfunctioning, probably because of the energy pulses. How do we get our bearings in this dust ball? Okay, so as you can see, unfortunately for us, we do not have the wonderful Chakotay with us, so he cannot use his wonderful, my people did this, and my people did that. Yeah, he cannot use that to be able to, help us out here. So we're going to struggle through to a vantage point, and Tuvok is going to, we have a possibility for a bad outcome here. That's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? All right, let's try it out. Okay, come on out. Yeah, whew, okay, I was a bit worried there. The away team pushes forward, battling the strong winds and low visibility. Finally, they emerge onto a ledge with a clearer view of the surrounding area. In the distance, they spot the Kazon Ogla settlement. However, the wind is picking up and a massive sandstorm is approaching from the south. Captain, a sandstorm is heading our way. We need to find cover fast. Okay, so Innovator, we have the ability to do Innovator, where we can design an intelligent shelter to withstand the storm, which sounds pretty cool to me, actually. The question is, do we need her for the next choice? We do not. No, we do not. So, in other words, funnily enough, we could also do this, temporary shelter. Both are basically the same. Build a temporary shelter from what you can find. A temporary shelter? I don't think we need an intelligence shelter, do we? I don't actually know. It says plus 15, plus 30. It would be better to have plus 30, wouldn't it? Unless it's taking 30. I don't think it's taking 30, right? Anyway, B'Elanna wastes no time. With impressive efficiency, she swiftly constructs a wind-resistant shelter from the surrounding debris, all the while grumbling about the perceived incompetence of the Starfleet team. After what seems like an eternity, the storm subsides. The away team emerges, unharmed, and sets off in the direction of the Kazon-Ogla settlement. Okay, so we did get 30, actually, from that. Sometimes certain approaches in away missions bear additional risks. Dangerous approaches are marked by a danger level indicator. Failing such a challenge can result in injuries or even fatalities. Yes, now this is where things are going to get dicey. Alright, Captain, we've reached the settlement. How should we approach the people here? Okay, so we're going to let Neelix do the introductions. That is 100% what we're going to do, of course, because, come on, you know, we need to do that. I mean, we could do this. I'm not sure. That's going to provide... I mean, the show does it with Neelix, right? The show says, Neelix, you know these people, you know, do the thing, whatever he does. But here's the thing. We have a much higher chance of being able to resolve this easily by using Neelix's innovator skills, so that's what we're going to do. And that's going to be pretty easy for us. Neelix bounds forward, greeting the Kazon-Ogla in his usual boisterous manner. The women and children seem to recognize him, but their expressions are skeptical rather than welcoming. No offense, but I have never seen a Kazon woman. Is that just me? Have you seen a Kazon woman? I don't know. Anyway, the men approach cautiously, weapons in hand. A tall Kazon emerges from the settlement, Jabin, their leader. At the sight of Neelix, his face darkens. In the background, a badly bruised young woman who looks nothing like the Kazon, but more like a human with pointy ears, peers around a corner. Seems like the Kazon don't find Neelix as charming as he led us to believe. How should we appease them, Captain? Okay, assure them you have no bad intentions. Demonstrate strength to keep the Kazon at bay, or we can do the thing that they do in the show where they offer water in exchange for information about the Ocampa. Okay, so obviously Neelix is fatigued right now, so that's probably not going to work. We could do the water exchange, or we could do the attack. We'll do the water exchange just because that is going to provide us with a potential for critical success. I was hopeful for critical success, to be honest, but apparently we weren't going to get it. The away team offers Jabin water from their replicators. Fascinated by this technology, Jabin accepts the offer and becomes more receptive. He explains that the Ocampa live underground, their access controlled by the caretaker, who also provides their only source of water. As proof, Jabin points to the bruised Ocampa woman he is holding as a slave, explaining that she is one of the few who have managed to reach the surface, when suddenly, Neelix grabs a phaser. He points it at Jabin and demands for the Ocampa girl to be freed. I remember this. This was so funny. Okay, things are getting out of hand, Captain. We should retreat. Okay, so we can secure the retreat with phaser fire, or we can do a tactical retreat and run, or we can appease and carefully withdraw. Secure the retreat with phaser fire, of course. Okay, there we go. Yes, and we recruited Cass as a result of this. I think that if we had appeased Jabin, we would have not gotten her, you see? And that I think that is actually a consequence of our choices, our direct choices right there. For me personally, I'm actually not entirely sure why people wouldn't like this. If you're a fan of Star Trek, I don't know. It feels fun. It feels like you have... I mean, obviously right now, we are very early on in the game, and so as a result, because this is a demo too, everything is going to be a lot easier. Just bear that in mind. Everything is going to be a lot easier. They want the demo to be smooth sailing so people can experience as much of the game as possible to provide as much feedback as possible, right? Anyway, let's see. The away team lays down covering fire, forcing the Kazon to take cover. This allows them to minimize their exposure to enemy fire, and Jabin, though furious, seems to acknowledge the away team's fighting skills. They escape with no casualties. And there you go. Alright, we got no critical successes, unfortunately, but we are leveling up our people, and they are now all level 2. Great. Love it. Safely back on Voyager, Neelix surprises the rest of the away team as he and the rescued woman kiss passionately. How deep does the relationship between the two go? My dearest Cass, didn't I promise I'd save you? I knew you would come for me, my love. You lied and endangered my crew. This is not how trust is built, Mr. Neelix. He was desperate, Captain, but I understand. I want to repay you and your crew for saving me. As Jabin said, the access to the underground city is controlled by the caretaker. There is a tunnel, but the caretaker sealed it with a security barrier. We may be able to transport through the barrier if it had the slightest breach. A transporter signal amplifier would be necessary. Excellent idea. Kes, can you help us once we've located the breach? Of course. It's the least I can do. I'm grateful. Now, ask Kes what she knows about the caretaker, ask how Kes and Neelix met, ask Kes why she came to the surface. What she knows about the caretaker, of course. What can you tell us about the caretaker? For generations, he has provided the Ocampa with food, water, energy, and protection from the outside world. Any idea why he does it, or where he came from? No, we do have stories and legends about him, but they're just stories and legends. Okay, so let's see, ask why Kes came to the surface. Kes, if it's so dangerous on the surface, why did you leave your home? I felt a strong pull to explore the world beyond the city. I yearned for the freedom to discover new things and learn about myself. Seeing my people so dependent on the caretaker, unable to even think for themselves, it was unbearable. We were once a people who had full command of our mind's abilities. Yeah, okay. I'm not entirely sure if that is... I don't think that was actually said at this point, but, it was discovered later on that they were telepathic or, had the ability to develop telepathic skills. Let's ask how her and Neelix met. Kes, Mr. Neelix, I'm curious, how did you two meet? I met Kes while I was trading with the Kazon Ogler. They enslaved her, but she was kind, even to someone like me. I had to get her out. He visited, brought me gifts, made me laugh. He was the only good thing in that terrible place. We fell in love. I admit I used you, Captain. I apologize, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Okay, well, thank you. Thanks very much. Alright, someone get started on that transporter signal amplifier. And Kes, we'll go to sickbay and have you examined. Are we going to see the EMH? There he is. There he is. Captain, the science lab is back online. We can start researching the signal amplifier. Is that? No, that's the science lab. Wait. Oh, there we go. Actually going to see him? Oh, okay, this is going to be fun. There we go. With no other options available, Captain Janeway activates Voyager's emergency medical hologram. A shimmering figure materializes in sickbay, ready to provide critical care. As far as I'm aware, they did this way before when Mr. Paris, I believe, went down to sickbay and, well, never mind. Okay. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Doctor, our chief medical officer is dead. You have to take care of sickbay for now, and this patient, Kes. There's no need for concern. I am capable of treating any injury or disease. A broken ulna, a few minor bruises and grazes, nothing I can't handle. You're in the most capable hands, young lady. Thank you, Doctor. That's very kind of you. I expect you to do your best, Doctor. Do my best? Captain, I am programmed for optimal medical care. What else would I do? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a patient to attend to, and a sickbay to reorganize. Okay, well, technically, if you are looking at law accuracy, right? If you're thinking about law accuracy, the sickbay would be in ruins at this point. Would basically be, there would be so much debris all over the place. Same thing with the bridge as well, mind you. So, that's obviously a pretty big deal. Where is the bridge? There it is. Yeah, because there would be stuff hanging from the ceiling right now, and they would obviously be attempting to repair that as time goes on over the course of the pilot. But obviously in the game they don't have that kind of persistency, which in my opinion I feel like they should do. I think they should have more persistency in regards to these kinds of things, because I mean, they wouldn't have gotten that fully repaired in that amount of time. Such a short amount of time, no way, not in a million years. Because I don't know whether you noticed, but in one of the cutscenes that we saw earlier, basically we went from having the bridge be kind of damaged and everything, and how it should be, and then all of a sudden it was perfectly fine again. So I do think that obviously because this is a demo, we have to remember that it is a demo. Okay, we're not going to be, too critical about things, because you never know what's going to happen in the future with development. Anyway, yeah, we can go to the science laboratory now. So we can get the items to analyze. The transporter signal amplifier. Let's do that. Current research rate is 100%. Assigned hero adds a potential percentage bonus, and technology also adds a percentage bonus. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. You can see here that you can also upgrade it. You can gain additional science points and so on and so forth. Very, very nice. Okay, so we can now go back into the system, and then we can continue to roam around. And we're full on duranium now, by the way. Yeah, we are full on duranium, so there isn't much more for me to do except skip cycles if I want to do that. But you know what? I think that's actually going to be it for this episode, because I'm going to get carried away. I think the game is actually really, really fun so far. I'm not sure how it's going to be in the future. I know some people were talking on the forums about how the combat is really, really bad. I haven't obviously seen combat yet. So maybe it is really bad, but if it is bad, then they can tweak it, you know? It's a demo. So obviously feedback, very important right now. If you want to check out the game, there is a link in the description. If you want to see more from me and playing this, then by all means let me know too, because I'm happy to play some more. You know, it's my kind of game. It's a lot of fun. I really love Star Trek, so why not? Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.